Good morning, guys. Let us discuss about the atoms. What are atoms? Atoms are smallest unit of ordinary matter that forms a chemical element. Basically, atoms are basic structures of every particle in the universe. By atoms, the molecules are formed. By molecules, a group of molecules will form an visualized chemical component. Then from that, in case of living organisms, from molecules will form a cell will form tissue, a smallest to a complex. But in case of chemicals also, so atom was a basic structure of unit because in case of to form a molecule, atom is required. So it is the smallest unit of ordinary matter that forms a chemical element. So whereas it's the smallest one, it's about a picometer. We can measure the atom is about 100 picometers. It's nothing but an angstrom. So okay, so whereas every solid in the universe, every solid, liquid, gas, and then even the plasma is composed of neutral or ionized atoms. The ionized atoms are nothing but okay, ionized atoms are nothing but charged one, whether positively or negatively, were called as ionized atoms. Okay, remember that. And atoms are extremely small, typical around, as I discussed, it is about 100 picometers. Okay, the 100 picometer, 1 picometer is nothing but 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. So when we convert into a series, so it's 10 to the power of minus 12 meters. So usually 100 picometers is nothing but 1 angstrom. They're minute things, very minute things. Okay, let us go to the suppose we take in a helium atom. So how the atom will be, the structure, let us discuss the structure. Okay, so these were called as neutrons in the atom, these were called as protons, and these were called as electrons. Usually these were inside the, it's called as the totally, the protons plus neutrons were called as nucleus. It's a basic terminology regarding the atom. So nucleus were composed of nucleus composed of protons plus neutrons. Okay, so nucleus is basically composed of protons plus neutrons. The protons are positively charged, so we indicate the red one is the protons, 2 protons, there are 2 electrons and 2 neutrons. Basically helium atomic number is nothing but the number of protons is nothing but 2. The helium atomic number is the simplest atom to describe the structure of atom. The atom consists of nucleus, and nucleus, after the nucleus, the electrons revolve around the nucleus. The nucleus is composed of protons plus neutrons. Okay, around the nucleus the electrons were revolving. Okay, so that's the basic composition of atom. Okay, they composed of mainly 3 particles. One is neutrons, the other is protons, electrons. These neutrons plus protons were consistent inside the nucleus, and outside the nucleus the electrons kept revolving. Okay, let's go to that. Every atom is composed of nucleus and one or more electrons bound to the nucleus. The nucleus is made up of one or more protons and a number of neutrons. Okay, it can be number of neutrons. Okay, so only the most common variety of hydrogen has no neutrons. Not that hydrogen, common variety of some hydrogen molecules like deuterium, they have neutrons, but most common hydrogen doesn't have a neutron. So it is indicated like this: 0 means no neutrons. Okay, so just leave it. So usually every atom, just I will represent what it describes. Generally it describes, it's a electron revolving path. Electrons will present, and they are the, it's a nucleus. Suppose the nucleus consists of protons plus neutrons. Okay, so protons plus neutrons, outer electrons were revolving. These were called as s orbitals, p orbitals, d, f in representation as p, d, f orbitals. There are several orbitals around the nucleus. So this is the basic structure of an atom. Okay, so let us discuss more about the atom. So more than 99.94% of atomic mass of the nucleus, okay, is the nucleus. So more than 99.94% mass of atom was nothing but nucleus mass, because nucleus consists of protons plus neutrons. So electrons are negligible mass, they have a negligible mass generally. So the protons have positive charge, as we discussed, this is the positive charge. The electrons have negative charge. Okay, the electric charge and the neutrons have no charge, they are neutral, so called as neutrons, because they are neutral condition, no charge, neither positive nor negative. If the number of protons and electrons are equal, the atom is electrically neutral. If the atoms have more or fewer electrons than protons, then it is overall negative or positive charge. So if more number of suppose if the more number of protons were present, if more number of protons were present, the atom is called positively charged, because positively ionized. If the more number of neutrons were present, it's neutral. Generally we don't compare with neutrons. So if the more number of electrons were present, the atom is negatively charged. Okay, negatively charged. So that's represent a basic thing about the atom. Okay, so let's go to another thing. The electrons of an atom are attracted. So suppose this is suppose I will draw the, it's a nucleus consists of protons plus neutrons, and outer there is an s orbital. This consists of electrons. Okay, electrons. So here what is describing is, so the force between the neutrons and electrons is nothing but electromagnetic force. Okay, the force between the electrons and neutrons is electromagnetic force, and the protons and neutrons, between these two there is a force exists, is called as nuclear force. Okay, so why this atom is stable? Because atom is stable because nuclear force is greater than electromagnetic force. So then basically the atom becomes stable. Okay, it can't decay. Okay, decay process is not there here. So if some cases if electromagnetic force is greater than nuclear force, then usually the atom was not stable thing. Okay, so this results decay. Usually we observe in the decaying of some radioactive substances. Usually radioactive substances like radium, they usually decay over a time. Okay, so usually if electromagnetic force, the force between these two neutrons and electrons is more than the force between the protons and neutrons, okay, then the atom starts decaying. If it is, suppose the nuclear force between protons and neutrons is more than electromagnetic force, then the atom will become a stable thing. About the structure of atom, and Next, we're gonna discuss more about the structure of molecules and so on. So signing off, yours Madhu. Bye. Take care.